We all want to be a success, but the trick is to figure out what success means to you, because it won't be the same for you as it is for me. I know that any goal I have, any success I achieve, must be measurable. How else would I know if I've succeeded or failed? So great, I'll just write up some goals, apply some metric, and I'll be able to track my success. Yeah, I know, it doesn't quite work that way, does it? Get in here, let's go figure this out. Hi, I'm John, and this is Bogdan. In 2015, we gave up our day jobs and started our own freelance creative business. Join us on our journey as we figure out how to earn a living as artists, introduce you to those we meet, and share what we learn along the way. So, how do we measure success as creative entrepreneurs? Is it the amount of money we make? Is it fame? The number of clients we have, or the number of songs we record? Is it the number of subscribers on our YouTube channel? Is it the inventory of paintings in the back room or getting into a gallery in LA? Is it none of these things? Is it all of these things? What is success? And how do we know when we've achieved it? The best way I know to find out things that I want to know is to do a bit of research. I know. 30 years of librarianship makes you a little strange. So I could go and read some academic articles and psychological studies and social anthropological papers, and I still wouldn't be any closer to understanding what success is. So my next approach is just to look at what successful people are doing and do that kind of stuff too. There is an inherent danger in comparing ourselves to others. And don't pretend that you don't know what I'm talking about. As human beings, we tend to judge our success on the failure of others. I must not be bad at painting. Look at the crap he's putting out there, and he's in a gallery. Really? Really? Sure, it may be fun to poke holes in others, but you do realize that they're doing the same to you, right? Or we find somebody who is really, really inspirational, and then we slink away totally demoralized because we know we'll never be as good a painter as she is. Let's just put all that aside for a moment. We're never going to get anywhere with that sort of thinking. But we do need a hero. Several would be more likely. We need to find real-life people who are killing it. People we consider to be successful. Let's come up with a list right now of 5 people in our precise creative field who are considered inspirational and who would be great to kind of emulate. You don't have to know them personally, but let's say they can't be dead. I chose John Ross Palmer, Stefan Van Quick, Zach Williams, J.J. Baker, and Gerhard Richter. Now, I attach one word to each artist that defines what I admire most about him. Sorry, I picked all guys.
Every effort is made to select the finest men.
A quality in each that I would like to emulate. Of course, they may not see themselves in the same way at all, but this is my list. They can make their own. I picked John Ross Palmer because I've never seen anyone as dedicated to being a self-supporting artist. He works really hard and does not buy into the whole starving artist stereotype. Next, I picked Stefan Van Quick, who we just interviewed a couple of weeks ago. Stefan appears to me to be fearless. He doesn't take no for an answer, and he will face any adversary to get his content out and his art seen. Zach Williams is one of the most impressive painters I've ever met. He is so talented, and he is skilled at his craft. I've been as impressed with the preparations he makes to paint a scene than with the finished product. Both are amazing. J.J. Baker I chose because he seems so authentic. J.J. is the quintessential artist. He lives it. He breathes it. He can't help but create. And if there's anything that will turn your public against you, it's a lack of authenticity. Is there a reason why we don't remember the names of great art forgers in history? Did we learn nothing from Milli Vanilli? And finally, my last hero is Gerhard Richter, whom I do not know personally. I chose him not only because his work is stunning and inspirational, but because he has achieved an international level of fame and respect. So that leaves me with 5 values I have for success: determination, fearlessness, skill, authenticity, and fame. Now, I can look to Wall Street to give me some measure of what businesses are a good bet, but I can't use standard measures as a creative. Can a for-profit company be successful without making money? No, it can't. Can a poet be successful without making money? Well, sure. So can I apply my 5 values to my creative career and use them to measure success? I think I can. So there you go. Take your 5 values, because yours will be different from mine, and incorporate them into your mission, into your artist statement. Build your goals around them, because you can measure success as a creative. So I was thinking about the future of our small business the other day while breathing into a paper bag, and it occurred to me that with this whole coronavirus-induced lockdown, our goals and objectives may not make sense anymore. Now, we have some action items like hosting 4 receptions this year. Well, that's not going to happen. But really, all of our core goals are still fine. As my panic attacks subsided, I realized that nothing substantial has actually changed. The money stopped. But I don't have a single goal on my list that says we should earn a bunch of money. Money is a tool for success, not a measure. If I had no more money, had to close the business, would I still paint? You bet I would. So through all of this difficult time, the sky really hasn't fallen. And since my business is built on determination and fearlessness and skill and authenticity and fame, I don't see how I can fail. I spoke a little last episode about using meditation for finding balance and good health. Hopefully you guys are using that tool as well. I also touched on visualization as another tool, not in some sort of woo-woo way, but there are loads of studies to say that visualization works. Whether it trains the mind to focus on a particular goal or outcome, or whether practicing mentally for an outcome can help us better achieve it, visualization does seem to work. Look it up online, as there are religious traditions, businesses, athletes, and leaders who use visualization every day toward their own success. It's free, it's not hard to learn, so why not give it a shot? Many people swear by it, and there's a lot of science out there that backs that up. Well, I've finally given in and accepted that I'm gonna have to learn how to use Pinterest. The research I've been doing indicates that a huge proportion of traffic moved to websites, online shops, blogs, and vlogs is realized through Pinterest. And I had no idea even how that platform worked. So I've taken the plunge, and I'm getting settled in to using Pinterest. I finally figured out what a pin is, at least I think I have. And pretty much anything you do with your website, any pictures, any articles, any particular pieces of art, each of those things needs to have a pin. And those pins are then placed onto boards that you create. I believe that I never really caught on to that before. Then, through keywords, people find your pin, click on it, and are taken to that content wherever that might be. Then, like-minded people add your pins to their boards, and groups of people with similar boards join forces and expand the attention that your pin is getting. And unlike Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, that pin sits there for years drawing traffic to your content. Now, that I sort of understand. The only drawback I can see is that art and business do not appear to be strong categories on Pinterest. The more popular topics are travel, health, beauty, fashion, DIY projects, and crafts. But I still think it's vital that I'm present though, as I need all the help I can get in getting traffic to move my way, until I'm famous. Then I'll be beating attention off with a stick. So if you haven't started using Pinterest yet, do it today. And then add all my pins to your boards. I think I mentioned that we've been applying for various art competitions, juried shows, and open calls. Well, it's starting to pay off. So what all have you submitted to, and we've gotten some responses, haven't we?
Oh my God, I submitted a lot this last month. With past series, new series, there's been a lot of open calls for art in COVID-19, so I submitted for that too.
A lot of online things that are just online.
Right, and a lot of these art in COVID-19 were mainly for online exhibitions and organized by galleries on Instagram. So I submitted, a lot of them has been picked up, but I entered in several shows. Important one. One of them is in Minneapolis, and that was a Praxis gallery, and that was a portrait theme competition, and one of my submission got in the show, and that is Maria. It's a portrait of a countrywoman in Romania.
God, she was magnificent, wasn't she?
Do you remember that moment?
Yeah.
I just stopped her in the field and I said, "Can I take a picture of you?" And she absolutely posed for me right there on working with a horse.
I think we paid her a chocolate bar.
I think so. I gave her something, I don't remember
And
what.
some money, I think. Yeah.
She was very, very lovely. Another submission, another show is in Las Laguna in California. And I submitted 3 photographs from the Inheritance series, and all 3, as far as I understood, have been selected, and they will be displayed only on their online exhibition at this point.
And I believe at some point they're going to create a physical exhibition, but I think people just don't know when they're going to be open again.
Right.
They don't want to make false promises.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. What else? Another important one was one of the pictures from Inheritance I submitted for Don't Take Pictures has been made the shortlist for the contemporary photography competition, and I thought that was remarkable.
And that's great because there's the possibility of some prize money, but also being published, having a featured article in their magazine.
Yeah,
which would be great.
And after all these over 50 days now on stay-home situation, that $2,000, I'm telling you, may help a little the production. But yes, this is what I have to report so far.
And you've had some other things, some of the ones that have been canceled. One was the other art show from Saatchi, right? in
Oh
Dallas.
my God, big thing.
And
yeah.
because they're not able to do a physical show right now, they postponed it. But they're doing some things online, aren't they?
Right, and they organize online studios, and they are going to start in May showing the artwork of all these artists who enroll for the show in Dallas. Hopefully, I'm gonna have some visitors. I'm gonna start the promotion as soon as they complete their process.
And then I found one that's I think it's called Art Virus. They're posting every month. You can submit for their website, and they're posting. At least I got mine in. I don't know how they are curated in some way. And those are just the ones you've heard from. I mean, we've submitted to a lot more, and the sequence hasn't come up yet.
Right. I mean, even the Don't Take Picture competition, the finalist, the winner will be announced somewhere in May.
In May. So there are a lot of things that are still, and there's new ones coming up. I know you just submitted to one or a couple of them in Italy.
Yes.
From all over, really.
All over. I completely lost track right now of how many. That's why it's important to have a system to keep track on these things.
Yeah, we're putting all this stuff in the artwork archives that we mentioned before, and it's a great way to track where all of these things are and
maybe you should do
what the deadlines are. It'll actually tell you what the deadlines are.
Maybe you should do a tutorial in one of these vlogs just to show the other
I'm still
artists.
learning how to use it, but I'm happy to do that.
But yeah, what a great it was a great exercise actually, because I was looking on the exhibition I've done over the years, and the things are all over the place. I almost forgot.
And it's one thing to have it on your resume that you've done this particular show, but if you can't remember which pictures or which photographs you showed, those things disappear in history very quickly.
Yep. Anyway, so thank you for stopping by.
Keep it up. Yeah, we're not finished yet. Go. Hey guys, how are you? Just doing some work here in the studio. I have been a little demoralized lately. I don't know why. I've been very, very busy, but it seems like I've not been giving enough time to the art, and obviously that's what I want to do. So I've been working on this piece. It's part of the series I mentioned before that I'm calling the animism, and it explores themes, kind of basic anthropological, stereotypical kind of imagery that we have inside of us. And so there are things like thunder and rain and lightning and smoke and magic and snake and the different elements of kind of animistic religion, though they're not particularly religious pieces, but I think that those themes are kind of common. So anyway, that's the heady part. But now I'm making a green snake. I'm really hoping to actually do an exhibit with this particular series. I've exhibited in group shows and I've done things in the studio, but I've never had my own solo show. And I thought that just to show a bunch of kind of unrelated or curated images is fine, but not particularly what I want to do if I'm going to do a show. I'd like to do one that's more thematic. So I'm building this particular series. I've got certain elements that are common throughout, the dots that are kind of remind me of the Aboriginal paintings in Australia. Those feature largely. There's also kind of a base symbolism in the circle and the dot, and so I think that's important. in this kind of work. I also am including the same kind of border on each of them, just to, again, to tie in not only the natural world, because it's a kind of a floral pattern, not only the natural world, but just so that they all look good together in a series. Hopefully you guys are keeping active with your art or your design or whatever it is you do. We do a blog series that kind of informs these vlogs. So I'll do, during the week, I will do a series of blogs on the topic, and that informs the content that I put into these vlogs. So all last week I was working on blogging about success, so that this week we could put one out, a video out on the same topic. So I'm now working on next week's. So if you'd like to see some of that content, it's similar in topic, but obviously treated differently in the blog. So feel free to look those up if you're interested, and get a little ahead. And then, of course, any other content that I provide, I put out first on Patreon for any Patreon subscribers, and then I make those available after a week, generally. So you get some early content on Patreon. So that's kind of what I've been doing artistically. We've been catching up a lot on organization, on just dealing with the kinds of bookkeeping things that come with tax season, though we did get a bit of an extension on the taxes this year. Still had to do them. And record keeping and things like that. Doing a whole lot of organization as far as getting things out onto the online shops and to those online platforms. And that's a lot of work. It's not particularly difficult work, but it ends up eating up your whole day, and you realize, you've done little else. Sorry for this kind of stream of consciousness, but I'm in the zone painting now, and I guess that's the good part. I'm just gonna shut up now and get back to painting. Thanks for watching, guys. Please take a second to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and help us out on Patreon if you can. You'd be surprised how much those little things can help. I'll see you next week, so in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and plan for your success. And see it happen. No one deserves success more than you do. Bye.